Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, my three talking points going to be Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and Hamas, the U.S. deployment of a ballistic missile cruiser, and what just happened in the European Union. A statement that was made, a proposal for Israel and Hamas to finally settle their score, to make peace, and kind of like a resolution, which I think is absolutely stupid. But we get into that in a little bit. Okay, my friends, let's start out with the US deployment of the missile submarine into the Middle East. Now, this is a nuclear submarine and it carries ballistic missiles. Now, this is now another warship that has been sent into the Middle East to do what? Can anyone tell me that? We got the Eisenhower there, we got the Ronald Reagan there, and those are all carrier groups. You know, like I said in my last video, those are not simple single ships. Carrier groups, you got the main carrier, you got support fleets, you got destroyers, you got submarines, you got logistic ships they carry along. So depending on what carrier group it is, each carrier group got anywhere from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 ships in one carrier group. We got 3 carrier groups over there now in the Middle East. And now we are sending another ballistic missile which can carry nuclear warheads up to the Middle East. I don't know what kind of effect this gonna has on the relationship between Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Jordan with the United States. I personally think that if they would have deployed carrier groups over there to the Middle East, they should have done it all at once. Show force all at once, and not a little bit here, a little bit here. It just doesn't make no sense to me. Send them all at once, show who we are, what the United States has. We have a big fleet. We have good weapons. We have good soldiers. What we don't have is a competent administration. As all you guys know, or most of my subscribers, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. I think he's an incompetent fool, he's an idiot, and he should be kicked out naked out of the office into the street and forget about him. That's what I think. He's an idiot. All right? That's my opinion. You may have different opinion. This is your right. You can agree or disagree with me, with my beliefs, with my convictions, and with my whole show. You don't have to watch it. But I'm honest. I say what I feel, and I say what I think. Anyway, that was point number 1. Now, today, the European Union, the President, Leyen, she proposed something for the Middle East conflict between Hamas and Israel. Again, a politician does not know what he or she is talking about. First of all, she proposed that they can work to a 2-state solution. I mean, my last video, the video prior to that, I mentioned all of that. Since 1948, Israel negotiated with other countries, United States, Germany, any other Europe country, to agree to a 2-state solution. Israel and their so-called Palestine. Hamas and Palestine, the PLO leader before, and Arafat, they always disagreed. They said, no, there is no negotiation. We want all of Israel. This is our land, which is a big lie. It's made up. Israel belongs to the Israelis since the beginning. Abraham, remember that. I mean, there was never and never will be, as long as I'm alive, a country called Palestine. There was never a country called Palestine. Show me where there is a country called Palestine. It was always Israel. The English in the accord after the war, they gave it to Israel, said this is your land. Of course, the Palestinian people didn't agree with it. They said it's our land. And we can go in there for hours and hours. Everybody got a different opinions. Everybody gonna quote a different quote out of the Bible, a different quote out of history books, different quote out of that. That is your prerogative. You can do that. But unfortunately, it's not the truth. It's the land of Abraham. And this land of Abraham belongs to the Israelis. Heck, before the English had the land, they took it from the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, all right, ruled over that land for 400 years. It was their land then. They lost it to the English. The English gave it to the Israelis. They didn't give it to the Palestine people. Nobody likes them. Please think about it. Israel is surrounded by 45 million Arabs, 6 different countries. Why does nobody want them? Why does all the countries decline to take refugees from the Gaza Strip? Why? Nobody wants them because they're just too radical. It's absolutely unbelievable that people don't understand that. There's in Gaza, the unemployment rate is 70%. 70%. So what all those people do? They gotta eat, right? They gotta maintain whatever. They gotta have electricity, water, food, clothing. They don't have anything. They get it from Hamas because Hamas steals all the stuff, my tax money, pays for to get sent over there on other people's money too. All the aid they're getting from the United States, from Europe, is all paid by taxpayers' money. If people wouldn't pay taxes, there would be no aid. So now, that aid goes for decades there, all right, to the Gaza Strip. Hamas controls the Gaza Strip. Heck, they're the ruling political party since 2006. They take almost all of the aid. 95% they take is ours. And aid comes in form of food, medicine, diapers, clothing, anything people donate. Get packed up here in the United States, get packed up in Europe, it's get shipped over there. Food, water, candy, anything you can buy freely here in the United States or back in Europe in the store, what they have leftovers, they give. It gets sent over there, just like an aid package. Now, of course, the terrorists, also called Hamas, they take it. The trucks come over, they confiscate the trucks, they keep what they want and say, here, you can have the rest, the crumbs, to the people. Now the people are starving. The people got no schools. What they're gonna do? They see the Hamas people offering them food, debt, clothing, money, whatever they have. You buy your influence. That's what the Hamas people do. They buy the influence. They say, we're going to give you food, but you got to do that and that for us. You got to go over into Israel. You got to give me information. Where are the checkpoints? How many people are on checkpoints? What time do they change guard? Because they're always changing different. So if you have been in the military, you know, you don't have the same change of guard every day at the same time. Every day at 6 o'clock, you're an easy target. So they change it. 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever, you know, it's a daily rooster. So they go there, they get the information. They say yesterday they changed at 3, today they changed at 5, the day after that, the day before that they changed at 1. So eventually you can figure out a pattern, you know, mathematically, because Hamas, those people who run a Hamas, they're not stupid. They know what they're doing, or they wouldn't be sitting there for 50, 60, 70 years and attacking Israel all the time. You know, they survived a long time. So they buy the influence. Here, you get some food, you get some money, you get some drinks, whatever, take it home, but give me the information. Let me know How many jeeps did you see? Let me know. Any helicopters? How many helicopters? Can you take a picture if you got a phone? If you don't have a phone, we give you a phone. You can keep it. We give your parents a phone too, so you can, have connection with your friends and your family. And of course, you're poor. You got no school. You got no future. You adapt. You take it. You adapt yourself to it, and you get friendly with those people. You look up to them. And this how they groom. I think that's the correct word. This how they groom those young kids. This how the kids grow up and see Hamas as a leadership, father figure, leadership, big brother. They look, oh, I want to drive the car too. I want to get the car. I want to get a motorcycle like that. And eventually they get it, and they get indoctrinated. And this how it is a deadly circle all over and over again. Education-wise, my friends, the IQ, like I said in my last video, is about 60 to 65% of the average young Palestinian there. I mean, come on, really? How easy is it to influence someone with money and stuff and your own intelligence to control a young kid? Let's say 10, 11, 12 years old. How easy is that? Once they're 18, 19, 20, they're totally messed up in the head. They're totally fanatic. This what did you see? This is what you have seen on October the 7th, the fanatism. I put up an audio recording the IDF released on October 7th, where a Hamas fighter called his parents, and check out my listings. He called his parents and said that he's now in that and that city in Israel, and he killed 10 Jews, and he was totally euphoric about it. It was an ecstasy for him. The parents at first didn't know. The father said, "Where are you?" "I'm in Israel. We attacked that and that city, and I killed 10 Jews with my bare hands. They're all dead. And we're gonna go to the next city now, and we're gonna continue." And the father praised him, and then he put the mother on the phone, and the mother was a little bit more shocked. She started crying and said, come home, son, But he said, no, what are you talking about? I got to continue. That's fanatism. That's, you die for your cause. That's it, So it's a bad thing what Miss Leanne proposed about the two-state solution. It will never happen, no matter what the Europeans think, what they come up with. So many times it failed, it will never happen. Hamas doesn't want it, they want everything. Then she proposed, let me see here, no safe harbor for terrorists. Yeah, that's a good idea. How do you determine who is a terrorist there? They don't wear uniforms. They're scumbags. They're cowards. All they can do is shoot you in the back or blow yourself up in front of a checkpoint. They don't wear uniforms. They don't go by the Geneva Convention or Hague Convention. They don't. No safe harbor. What is she talking about? Does she really think Hamas get totally, let me put it this way. Hamas, the Gaza Strip get totally taken over by the IDF. They're only civilians. Nobody gonna say to the IDF, "Hey, I'm a terrorist. I want my rights." No, they're just no. I never did anything. Not me. No, I just live here. This was a stupid idea. A stupid statement. No Hamas-led government. Well, this is what we got now. They say they're democratic elected. Hamas. It's a political party. Now. This is what the president of the European Union tells them right now. And this would be a no-go. They would be out of business. Hamas not going to be out of... I'm sorry. Hamas not going to be out of business. Unless they're dead. Then they're out of business. As long as they are alive, they're going to clinch to power. Just like the shit-ass politician we got here in the United States, the Democrats. They're also a bunch of shitheads. And as long as they're in power, they will not give up the power. They will be looking for more power. More power is always good. And less power for the people. That's just a side point on that. All right, and then we got the other thing is there were 5 points, 6 points. So no long-time Israeli presence in Gaza. Well, lady from Europe, Miss President, there is none now. Yeah, we got an invasion now, but before October 7th, there was no Israeli presence in Gaza, and there are not going to be any now. Once Hamas is wiped out, the people are left to their own. They can start rebuilding, but they cost. So don't tell me that there were an occupation. Like a lot of people, it's an occupation. Those people are idiots. Anyone who says Gaza is occupied by Israeli forces, they're idiots. There's not a single soldier or policeman in Gaza. That's what people don't understand. The Palestinians, they can go from Gaza into Israel through the checkpoints. The ones who are on a list or whatever, they get not let in. You got a proper paperwork, like your ID and whatever, and the course to go in there, and you can get in. Israelis cannot go into Gaza because they're going to get slaughtered. That's what people don't understand. Israelis cannot go into Gaza. It's going to be death for them. All right? So this was another dumb proposal she put out there. I don't know if Miss Leyen, the European Commissioner, the President of the European Commission, if she did that overnight, those 4 points or 5 points to have peace in the Middle East there, what she came up with. The other one is no sustained blockade. That is the main point we have now. The blockade was there to protect the Israelis. If you don't have a blockade and Palestinians can just walk freely into Israel, it's going to be a blow up every single day. They're going to mix into the population and they blow themselves up or stab people to death, like it happened today again. 2 female police officers got stabbed in the West Bank by Palestinians. Those people, the Palestinians, are not nice people, no matter what anyone want to tell me. The hatred for the Israeli people, it's unfixable, unchangeable. It's in their blood. If they get an opportunity or the order from higher ups to do harm to Israelis, they will do it. And my friends, it's not coming from me. I do my research for 20 some years now. It never changed. It's always the same. Those people will not change. And then some European blonde chick tells the Israelis no blockade. If there is no blockade, it's the same as Palestine, the Palestinians on October 7th just move all in. Instead 1,500 people, why didn't they all move in then? If you know what I mean? It just doesn't make no sense. It shows you she she doesn't know what she's talking about. It's absolute bullshit. No blockade. Blockade of what? The Gaza Strip? Israel gave the Gaza Strip to them. You live here, but they mess up everything. They're under control by Hamas, I understand. And people in the Gaza Strip, they gotta rise up. Just like the German civilian did in World War II against the Nazis. You gotta rise up and you gotta be firm about it. You're a lot more than Hamas. You gotta organize, you gotta take over. Cut the head off the snake of Hamas. You can do that. And unless you organize and actually do some action, you're always going to live like the way you live now. The Palestinian people live in poverty. I know that because Hamas takes all the stuff. There are 20 Hamas fighters at the checkpoint when the trucks come in. They just take over the trucks, pull the drivers out, put their own drivers in, and and drive the truck where they want it. Now, if there are 400, 500, 600 people waiting at the checkpoint and confronting Hamas, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Shoot 4, 5, 10, 50 of them? You guys could take over the checkpoint and take back the 8 and 8 yourself with it. Take over local offices. Take over any, how can I say? I don't want to say the wrong thing here. Let's say it that way. Local elections, you're going to have there, well, you don't have any since 2006, since Hamas took over, and they should have told you something, you know. But somebody got to rise up there and speak up. I know it's going to be a dangerous thing, but it's the only thing that's going to change the Gaza Strip. The way you live now there, the way you go about your life every day, that will not help. Nothing going to change. You got to stand up for your beliefs. You got to stand up for your future, because you don't have any under Hamas. Hamas are cowards. Hamas kills babies, rapes 12-year-old girls, shoots and stabs to death 80-year-old people, and shoot combat soldiers in the back. That's what they do. They're cowards, and I call them out for that. What you gonna do, Hamas? You come here to my neighborhood? Good luck. Good luck. Anyway, that was the last point. There's another point she made, but she really didn't put it into the main points. No displacements of Palestinian people. What is supposed to mean? Does it mean in Germany they don't want them? In France, England, Holland, Italy, Spain? You don't want them there? Just keep them there in Gaza? Contained or uncontained? What are you talking about? No containment, but no displacement. Lady, look, if you propose no containment, meaning no borders between Israel and Gaza, but you're very okay with it that Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, they said, no, we do not take any refugees in. But you're willing to take him? Are you willing to take in the so-called refugees from Gaza into Germany, England, France? What did the last 20 years do to you? To all of Europe? Let me place it that way. To all of Europe. You went from 4.5 to 4.8 million immigrants into France. You went to 9 million now. Germany took in 6 million. Sweden took in 2 million. Italy, 4 million. Over the past 20 years, where does it end? Because have you watched the news lately? Have you contacted your sources? How many more come in? It's a steady stream coming in. And you take them in under humanitarian rules. Yeah, I call it rules, because you made compassion a rule now. The people in those countries, Italy, Spain, France, they can't even turn them away anymore because they get deemed racist. Same like here in the United States. Donald Trump was president, and he got deemed a terrorist. A racist for blocking countries with radical Islamic terrorists. They cannot come in the United States. He got deemed a terrorist. Now you tell the world, Israel, don't contain them in the Gaza, just live along each other without borders, two-state solution. But you guys, you're not going to take them in? Every day I see on the news, Euronews, Al Jazeera, BBC News, France 24 News, all those channels, it's all the same. We got to do something about the influx of illegal immigration. Well, welcome to the club. You opened the floodgate and you can't stop it anymore. It's way too late for that, my lady. You are the president of the European Commission, which is another bureaucratic pile of shit, in my opinion. You guys pay yourself a nice salary. You sit there and talking about shit you don't have any idea what you're talking about. And you want to tell other countries how to run their country when you cannot run Europe yourself. That's a bunch of horseshit. That's it, my friend. It's just a way of incompetence that happened not because of you're stupid. It's because you don't know what you're doing. You let people in. As a professional politician, you let people in with no plan. And like Merkel said, oh, we can handle it. We can handle it. This is your policy? You let people in and you say, oh, we figured something out. I mean, this is great school stuff. This is not how you run a country or a continent. You can't do that. You can't run a country with compassion and thinking, oh, somehow we're going to fix this, somehow we're going to do it. No, it's all about economics. You know what you get in, you know what you can spend. And if you get the influx of millions and millions of people in, who's going to carry that burden on their shoulders? It's your citizens. And I hope a lot of people get voted out of office here in the United States, the same. I hope a lot of people get voted out in office here in the United States and in Europe. Because what you guys tried to build there over the last 20 years, it failed. You can't be colorful and inclusive and think the normal, hardworking citizen gonna pay for that. You will see what happens. You're gonna get voted out of office. You're gonna have riots in the streets. Riots you got now already. With the pro-Hamas demonstrations you let happen in Germany, Berlin, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Munich, in Barcelona, in Madrid, in Paris, in Marseille, in Lyon. I mean, guys, Poland, which I never expected to happen, they got pro-Palestine terrorist support demonstration on the street. Guys, I'm telling you, it will be very dangerous. Anyone who listens to my podcast or watch my podcast, I do both. I do the video now and I do audio podcast too. I call them useful idiots, my friends. And this is what happened now again with the Palestine demonstration. It's all paid for by criminals like George Soros and others. People who want to rule the world, one world government. We had here in the United States the fake Black Lives Matter riots about George Floyd, a criminal who died under police custody. No matter what anyone want to tell me, he got not choked to death by that cop. It looked really bad, yeah. But has anyone seen the autopsy report? He was already dead when they tried to arrest him and he was still standing up. He had a 3 times death. The drugs in his body would have killed him 3 times. Fentanyl and 3 other, cocaine and another, I forgot now what it was. 3 deadly doses of drugs in his blood. So when he was standing up and talking to the cops, when he was in that liquor store already and caused the trouble there, he was already dead. He just didn't know it. This cop who got convicted on his 2 co-workers there, they should never be in prison. But the left used that incident to cause riots for months in the United States under the umbrella Black Lives Matter. And all those fucking idiots were running around waving their flags and putting up statues of that criminal George Floyd. All right, all over the United States, all over the world. Germany, France, even in Russia, in other countries like Finland, in Sweden, George Floyd. What was it? It wasn't, nobody really cared about the criminal dude, George, I almost said the wrong word, the dude George Floyd. It was just another springboard for those rioters to fight against the government, to destroy stuff, to loot stuff. Have you seen how many stores got looted under the Black Lives Matter riot? It's the same as what we have now. Just wait for it. It just started. Those demonstrations all across the nation here and in Europe. It's just the beginning. We had the Black Lives Matter riot. Then we had Antifa. Antifa, of course, jumped right into it, which is another George Soros paid criminal organization. They're all scumbags. The Black Lives Matter are scumbags. Have you seen the people who started that organization? They got in like $29 million on donations, supposedly for black people. What did those black CEOs and CFOs did with the money? They bought themselves houses, Rolex watches, cars, fancy dinners. Not only one house, they got 2 or 3 houses. They got exposed for that. And what happened to them? Crickets. Nothing. Nothing happened. All they did is they stepped down from the position, put other people in charge. No criminal prosecution. Nothing. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and now pro-Hamas demonstration all over the world. It's all the same. You think that people organize overnight like that? It's all organized by small splinter groups paid for by rich billionaires to take down the present government here and in Europe. It's gonna go on for a while and then it's all over again because something else happened. All right? Antifa. Antifa here in the United States, where are they now? First of all, they're cowards. If I go out demonstrating against something or for something, right, I show my face. I don't cover my face with a black mask and dark sunglasses on, gloves so they cannot tell if I'm white or black, black hoodies, black pants. I don't do that. None of our people here, the patriots who love America, would do that. Look at January 6th. When they had their demonstration at the White House, nobody was mummed up, covered up. They all showed their faces. Not like Antifa, cowards, covering their faces. Those little 120-pound dudes. It's ridiculous. They're terrorists too. They're domestic terrorists. What about Black Lives Matter? They did the same. They covered up their faces. Most of them. They didn't want to be identified because they know what they're doing is wrong. Look at now, Hamas supporters running around in the streets and supporting Hamas, a terrorist group who murdered babies, raped 12-year-old girls and then killed them, killed 70, 60 and 80-year-old retirees in Israel, wiped out whole families. Let them watch how they killed the kids first, and then they killed the mother and the father and the grandparents. Those are sick people. They cover their faces. Look around the demonstration. Turn on your TV right now. I got 6 TVs here in my studio. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm using that as my backdrop today because I got another channel where I review alcohols and wines and whiskeys and tequilas and things like that. But I'm going to explain that in a different setting. I got 6 TVs here, 6 different channels. Every channel I turn on, from the United States all the way over to Europe, or to the Middle East even, it's all the same. People running around supporting Hamas putting down Israel and the United States, and they're covering their faces because they're chicken shits. Look at London. 10,000 people demonstrating on the London Bridge, pro-Hamas. Now look at them. See how many cover up their faces. Almost all of them. And the kicker in that demonstrations for pro-Hamas is there are so many white people demonstrating in support of Hamas. Are you guys even know what you're doing? Those people who support Hamas? Guys, the other day on the internet, and I thought it was fake, they're standing there, queer and LGBTQ for Hamas. Then I found a video, and it was a real video. It was not altered. Do those people who don't even know what gender they're gonna be tomorrow? Today I'm a guy, tomorrow I think I identified as a woman. Do those mentally challenged group of people know what they would do with you in Palestine, Egypt, any country who is a hardcore believer in their conviction that there's only a man and the woman gotta walk 10 feet behind me, cover their face, their head, feet, legs, toes, everything. Do you think you would last long in one of those countries? They would throw you off the roof, or they would chop off your hands, your head. Have you seen what Saddam Hussein did to gay people? They tossed them off the roof. I got the video still, and that was over 20 years ago. Most of you guys are not even old enough to know that. Or you're old enough and you're just stupid. You're just stupid. You think the world evolves around you. You're in the right because you got pink hair and everyone else is wrong. No. You have never been outside the United States. You guys, you're LGBTQ. The ones here in America. You do not know the real world. You do not know what they would do with you in many African countries. They would chop off your head. They would bury you in the desert and you're gone. It's that simple. In the Middle East, you get a life sentence in some of the countries in the Middle East for drinking alcohol. You're gonna get a death sentence for trafficking drugs. Death. Just because you live here in a cozy United States, and you sell drugs here somewhere, you got arrested, you're gonna get rehab. You're gonna be made out as the victim because society made you selling drugs. Because of your gender identity, of your color of your skin, you couldn't get a job. You tell a judge that, or your lawyer gonna tell him that, and you're gonna get the life suspended sentence. You're gonna get maybe some community work. Maybe you get a week in jail, maybe a month. And that's it. Other countries, they're going to throw you off the roof. Take your LGBTQ plus ABC, whatever, sign. Go to Saudi Arabia. Go to Saudi Arabia. Go to Uganda in Africa. Stand on a street corner there with your freaking pink hair and lift your sign. You will not make it home. Go to the so-called Democratic Republic of Congo. Go to Kinshasa. Do it there. Go to South Africa. See what kind of hard time you're gonna get there. And see, that's what makes me upset. That people do not understand here what they have here in the United States. The United States gives you all the opportunities in the world. You can be anything you want to be here. You can become a millionaire if you work hard, because you have the opportunity. You can do whatever you want to. You got skills, you can market those skills. I came here 33 years ago, a long time, from Germany. And there is no other country in the world where you have the opportunities you have here. There is none. People who put this country down, and now, with our present situation, put out those demonstrations, down with Israel, down with the United States, support Hamas, a terrorist organization. I don't understand. If I could, I would grab all those people and the LGBTQs too, all together, put them on a plane, send them over there, and do that in the Middle East, what you do here, and see what you're gonna get. Those people will not support you, even you support them. Why do you do that? What you do, supporting Hamas and calling Israel an occupier, which is total bullshit. It's Israel's land. For 3,000 years, it's their land, forwards, backwards. Read the Bible. Anyway, I'm getting a little upset here. You call them occupiers. You call the United States the big Satan and Israel the small Satan, and support that group. You are also useful idiots for the terrorists. They do not like you. You're a Christian. Most of you guys are Christians. And the rest are Arabs. Muslim belief, which is nothing wrong with. But don't put your belief, your convictions on other people's shoulders and death to force your belief on me or my neighbors or on the whole nation. You don't like it here? Take your stuff and leave. Nothing gonna change here. We are not gonna stop the support for Israel. We're not gonna do that. No matter how much white people running around here pretending to be Hamas supporters and trying to force their beliefs on us. It didn't work with your LGBTQ bullshit. It didn't work. You're 0.1% of the population. And you think you got any power over me, my neighbors, my city, my state? No, you don't. You're a speck in society. That's all. You're here today, boop, and you're gone. Next. You're never gonna convince the regular guy or the regular woman, the regular person, that a man can bear a child, that a man suddenly can become a woman, or that a woman can become a guy. It just doesn't make no sense. You're mentally ill and you need help, yeah. No matter how many dresses you put on, or trying to poison our kids in school with your drag shows, you're never gonna be a woman. You're always gonna be a guy. You're always gonna have balls, even if you chop them off. In here, you're always gonna be a guy. Why is the suicide rate so high among those people who suddenly change their sex from man to woman or woman to man? It's very high because after they do their transformation, few years down the road, they suddenly realize they made a mistake, but now it's too late. You chopped your balls off, now what you gonna do? You couldn't make it as a guy before, so you said, man, I gonna become a woman now. I am gonna be protected now. I gonna be accepted in society. What the hell is wrong with you? You think because there's some idiots on TV who speak in favor of that and support you, society ever gonna accept you? Now when you know you made a mistake, you're gonna see what society gonna do. Nothing. You're on your own, without your boss. Now good luck in your future life. Anyway, my friends, I think that's gonna do it for today, because I'm getting a little bit off track here. Let me know in the comments what you think, or send me an email and give me suggestions for the next segment, for the next podcast you want me to address. I mean, I have every day so much stuff comes in, and right now the hotspot is Israel and the Gaza Strip, but there's also Ukraine, which is kind of quiet right now. Nobody talks about Ukraine suddenly anymore, right? There's always something new coming up. Once the Israel conflict and Gaza is settled somehow, something else gonna come up. Maybe the election here in the United States next year with Donald Trump and that idiot Joe Biden we got here. You never know. But let me know if you got something specifically, anything in the world. I have contacts from my past life all over the world, and I can always call someone up or write someone, and I get the first-hand knowledge information, which I then gonna relay to you. Everything I address today is my own information I researched myself. If I get information out of secondhand, I will address that. I will let you guys know that I got this information from someone in that country, you know, and this is his first-hand information, and that's it then. So I don't make stuff up. I give you my honest opinion, my own research, and that's it. And if you got anything, like I said, you want me to address, I do that. Thank you. Thank you.